Step overs and the strike. What a hit. Opening goal for Jamaica.
So the Reggae Boyz find themselves in a tough spot. They need 3 points, but they will have to get it against the toughest opponents in the group. Can they do it? We'll discuss all that and more on this Jamaica versus Panama preview show. Yeah, people, welcome back to Jamaican Fan. And as I stated, Jamaica are third in the group with 3 points and will need at least a point and some help from elsewhere to make it out of the group. The only problem is that their final game will be against a very tough Panama team. The Panamanians currently lead the group with 6 points, and they have shown so far in this tournament that they are on pretty good form. They are very well balanced in attack and in defense, and it will take a massive effort from the Reggae Boyz to break them down and get 3 points on Tuesday. In terms of how we should approach this, well, if we play anyway at the same tempo we have been playing in the last 3 matches, we stand no chance. Our build-up play, it will be way too slow to get past a good defense that the Panama team has. But with the injuries we have, especially in midfield, it is most likely that Latibodere will be the key figure once again at the number 6 position. And with him being there, I just don't see us as a team that will progress the ball quickly enough through the lines. I'm quite sure Panama will be reviewing our game against Guatemala and Guadeloupe. If they press our midfielders and our fullbacks, they stand a great chance in disrupting our flow and win the ball back early up the pitch. This is where I'm most concerned about the Jamaican team. We don't seem to handle the press well, and then when it comes to breaking down a low block, we just simply seem too slow to get anything cooking. So on that front, is there anything Steve McLaren can do tactically different to give us anything different going forward? Well, there is one idea we can try to employ. We could start a target forward in somebody like Romaro Williams, have Russell deploy closer to him, and then try to go direct much earlier and faster and try to pick up the second balls when they're not down. We could also look for more crosses, especially from deep line areas, and try to catch upon the minions off guard in the box. But I can't see it happening. Steve McLaren does not change up his style to that extent whatsoever. And even if he wanted to, we lack the personnel, especially on the wings and in the fullback area, that crosses the ball very well. I mean, Demarai Gray is one person who can do such a thing, but he came out at the halftime in the last match against Guadeloupe with a knock, so it remains to be seen if he will be taking part in this match whatsoever. Which means we may have to double down on what we've been doing so far. We might see the same formation like we did against Guadeloupe, a 4-1-4-1, with probably the likes of Palmer stepping back in for Dwayne Busy Atkinson. But if we decide to go this route, we just have to find a way to play through the press. We have to find a way to up the tempo of passing amongst the attackers and carve up much more chances in the box for Warner Brown. And on that note, I think it is probably time to get a good look on Tyrese Campbell down on the left hand side. We are told he's a better player from the right, and with Gray nursing a knock and Cephas not really having a major impact in the last couple of games, maybe it is time to finally see what Campbell can do in a Jamaican shirt. This is not to say we have already given up hope on winning the match and getting out of the group stages, but with Panama, as I stated already, on 6 points and only needing a draw to top the group, and assuming Guatemala get things done against Guadeloupe, we will need not only 3 points, but a decent sized margin of victory as well. So I hope we approach this game as if there's no pressure, because at the end of the day, World Cup qualifying that starts in September is the much more important objective. So I want to see the team play with more freedom and expression and see if we can finally see a coherent play style through the 90 minutes. Alright, let us now highlight the 3 key players that should play an impact in this match from both teams. Starting with, of course, Leon Bailey. He had a rather impressive match against Guadeloupe last time about, but a lot of Jamaican fans weren't too quick to give him praise just yet, as they would like to see more consistent and do it against much tougher opponents. So well, here's his immediate chance to do so. We will need him to be even better against this very strong Panama team if we stand any chance and beat them on Tuesday. The other player I want to look on is Amari Bell. He really looked off the pace in that game against Guadeloupe, and I'm now wondering if fatigue is starting to catch up to the player. I'm not sure if Steve McLaren is going to throw Greg Lee into a massive match like this, but Bell, who is normally the most consistent of the back line, really looked off the pace in our last match. Hopefully, he looks more like his usual self before we play this very tough Panama team. Alright, the final reggae boy I want to highlight is of course our captain Andre Blake. It is very easy to say at this moment that he has been our best player so far in this tournament. A lot of people are wondering with the recent injuries he has if his best days are behind him, but he has showed that he's by far that he's still one of the best goalkeepers in Concacaf. And despite all of that, I hope he's not called into action too much on Tuesday night. Alright, now looking at the Panama players, we have to first look at they're one of the best players so far in the tournament, and that's Amir Murillo, who's a 29-year-old right back who plies him straight in France for Marseille. He has been very good for Panama in this tournament so far, and he was also the man of the match in their last match against Guatemala. Not only is he very steady in the back line, but he's also very good going forward and has a decent cross on him in the final third. Next is the veteran Anibal Godoy. He's normally the rock and steel in that centre of midfield, and he does a very good job to shield in the centre box. At 35-year-old, he no longer really have the pace to zoom around the pitch anymore, but he's a very aggressive tackler and he will get stuck in to throw off his opponent. And the final player to look at is their number one striker, Thomas Rodriguez. He's new to the team and lacks a bit of international experience, but he scored against Guadeloupe and he was a lone goal scorer against Guatemala. With signals, he provides some danger in front of goal. But generally on paper, this Jamaica team does not match up well against Panama, especially since our strength is normally down the flanks, and that's where Panama defense is at its best. Panama also leads the head-to-head with a 4 wins and 2 draws against the Reggae Boyz, but the last time we did meet them in a Concacaf competition, we did beat them thanks to Dexter Lambukisa's language effort. It was a totally different setup and team that the Reggae Boyz deployed back then, but we will need similar grit and fight to get the 3 points this time around. Anyway, let's move on to what I believe will be the projected starting 11. Blake will be in goal, of course. I think Dexter did a good job, so I think he keeps his spot at right back. The centre back pairing pit themselves with Kin and Pinnock. Left back is interesting. I think Bell looked shaky in his last match, but with his experience and magnitude of this match, he keeps his spot at left back. Centre defensive midfield will be Latibere again. I just don't see Sule McCullough coming in. We should see a change with the attacking midfielders. I think Palmer comes back in if he's returning from suspension, and he should be alongside Jonathan Russell. Bailey picks himself on the right hand side. Warner Brown would definitely play again as a centre forward, but left wing will be interesting. I would like to see Tyrese Campbell get a start there, but I'm quite sure McLaren will go for Cephas once again. But anyway guys, that's it for the preview show. Let me know in the comment section below what you think the scoreline will be tomorrow night. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and please like, subscribe and share as we look to keep you all up to date on the Reggae Boyz throughout the Gold Cup and Inter World Cup qualifiers. Otherwise, for great Reggae Boyz content, you're already at the right place. Jump Fan. YouTube, big up yourself.